everybody, and welcome to Betweenplays Stock Market Strategies. Today, we have with us Mr. Dan Stuart, CEO, President of Juggernaut Exploration. How you doing today, Dan?
I'm doing fantastic, and thank you very much for having me on your show. I've been looking forward to it for many days now. Thank you.
And thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. You have a very interesting story that I'd like to be able to share with the shareholders on this company here, Juggernaut Exploration. But before we do that, naturally, since it's our first video, we'd like to get the viewers to get to know you a little bit and to get to know the company. So let's start with yourself. Can you give us a little bit of background on what you've done, and and then after that, we'll head into the company a little bit.
Oh, thank you for that. I started working. Actually, I bought my first stock when I was 12 years old with a newspaper route money. And then when I was 19, I got a job at Yorkton Securities, being the external messenger for Frank Justra. And Frank is somewhat of a well-known name in the mining business. So is Yorkton Securities, that brokerage firm. And 4 months into the job, I got stuck with $250 million in an elevator.
Oh, okay.
So I had $250 million in diamond field stock certificates. I had 134,000 in bearer bonds for Carol Sarita, another well-known broker, and then about 24,000 pounds for the Baker Brothers out of West Vancouver.
Okay.
And I'm running this stock certificate to 595 Howe Street, the Pacific Corporate Trust building. I'm 19 years old. I've got a cell phone bigger than my arm, and my eyes are this big running there. The elevator broke down.
Oh, boy.
And they had been escrowed for 2 years. It was the Diamond Field Discovery, Voisey Bay.
Okay.
So I had Frank Justra, Greg Seaton, Bill Ram, Brian Negger, and I think Robert Friedland. I had all of these stock certificates in a bag.
Wow.
And within 2 hours, they had to be at the transfer agent. It was the last day for them to go in. The stock had run at $147 a share, split 2 for 1, and went back and had ran back up again.
Wow. And you're stuck inside the elevator now with all of this stuff.
The elevator breaks down. It just stops. And I've got 2 hours. So I had to call, I pressed the help button.
Yeah, sure.
I'm 19 years old. I'm 48 now. I've been in the brokerage business for 29 years, and I haven't turned 50 yet. So I'm a bit of an oddity that way. I have a lot of experience, and I'm not 50 years old yet. But regardless, I'm in this elevator. I've got all this money in a bag. And I pressed the help button, and they said, "What city and state, sir?" It was my first experience with outsourcing. I'm a 19-year-old kid from Vancouver.
Yeah.
So Gord Keep called on the telephone, who is Frank's lawyer now at Fury Capital. But Gord Keep called through Bev McKenzie, our cage manager, screaming, "I don't care if you have to crawl up those cables, get those certificates, you know what's in that bag." So I called the fire department, and when they finally showed up, and while I was sitting in that elevator waiting, a light bulb went off in my head. I did the calculation on how much money I had in that bag. And there's no business like this business where you and I could go stake a claim, hire a drill, spend $100,000 and drill a hole in the ground, and we're billionaires the next day. Now,
true.
The odds of that happening are very slim, but the potential is real. It's there.
Yeah.
So I did that math while I was in the elevator, and the fire department came. The light bulb went off. This business picked me. I didn't pick it. Destiny, right? There are not too many 19-year-old kids that happens to. So the fire department came and winched me out. When they winch you out, they use a big hand crank on the roof.
Really?
Yeah, you can feel the elevator going.
Oh, man.
So they put a pry bar in between the doors. They give me the bag, kid. I'm not let go. Give me the bag. I'm not let go. The bag. They slid me out, and they had oxygen bottles laid out. I did an agility ladder over these and just ran with the bag. Hey,
Yeah.
wait, we want to talk. And I went up the fire exit. I got the bag there on time.
Wow.
That was my entry into the business. 4 months working in this industry. I then got my Canadian securities course. My conduct and hand practice was book course. I worked on the international trade settlements desk, ran the SWIFT system, worked on the NASDAQ trade desk, became a junior broker, became a partner with a broker who unfortunately passed, Rory L. Massey, God bless his soul, and was my first mentor in the industry.
Rest in peace.
And I just continued on. Working in the brokerage business as a stockbroker for 25 years.
Wow, what an interesting story. And all of this really from that one event of being stuck in that elevator that just made the light bulbs go off. Because you actually had the time, because what else are you going to do, right? So you had the time to just reflect and think and go, wait a minute, like, yeah, I understand. I really do. Like someone that's also like on and a little bit there, I just hit 50 and I get it. Believe me, I do. You get those little light bulb moments. And, you were lucky enough that, well, in your unlucky moment of being stuck in an elevator, because most people wouldn't want that. Um, yeah, that's a very interesting story. Very interesting story. And so what leads you today to Juggernaut? I mean, so with an interesting story like that, I mean, definitely we're going to have an interesting company here. I just to touch off on it a little bit. We're talking about not too long ago, May 15th, is it? You closed over $3 million, and you're mobilizing for some drilling in the Midas Empire and Bingo properties. What are these properties? What is Juggernaut about? And now I'm curious.
Well, Juggernaut is about world-class discoveries in world-class terrain of northwestern British Columbia. Having been a broker for 25 years, you'd have these geologists, prospectors come into your office and pitch you all these different stories. And I fell in love with that very early. So I have a group that I work with. They say, come work with us. We'll generate the properties. You find the money, we'll find the gold mine.
Yeah.
So we created Juggernaut Exploration out of a mineral syndicate, the J2 syndicate that was created in 2016. So when Weed Mania was going on, we stayed focused on mining.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And we saw that the glaciers were receding, permanent snowpack due to global warming in northwestern BC. This world-class terrain of rocks that's mapped in the top 5 to 10 packages of rocks left on planet Earth, underexplored by the senior miners, was exposing itself for the very first time.
Wow, okay.
A world-class virgin opportunity in a geopolitically stable and safe jurisdiction of Canada. The seniors are coming back. They're coming home. They're tired of spending $1 billion, $2, $3 billion in some place somewhere, and it winds up getting taken from them. So we knew that we had a world-class package of rocks. We're BC guys. We've made a bunch of big discoveries in the past, and we went out and generated these projects from scratch. True project generation.
Okay.
We took Midas Empire and Bingo, and we vended those projects into Juggernaut Exploration. I came on as president and CEO of the company in 2017. And we're about to embark on a 6,500 meter drill program that has been backed by Dr. Quinton Henney, a world-renowned geologist, who advises Crescat Capital, who has just purchased 19.70% of Juggernaut Exploration, just shy of 20% of the company.
Okay. And right now I'm just taking a quick look at your stock over here. I mean, we're looking at a nine market cap of just over $9 million, and about 10% like inside like institutions that are holding the stock, which is really interesting. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Like, how is your share structure done? Because it looks over here like there's a great entry point um, with not that many shares outstanding as well. I mean, you got what 62.45 million shares outstanding, flow to 53. Can you get into that just a little bit?
Yeah, I'd love to. We've got 62 million shares issued and outstanding. I've got $5 million in the bank, and we've got, as you said, 8 to an $8.5 million market cap.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. And when this drilling program, I mean, naturally, from my understanding, we're are we in an area where there's significant amounts of copper, gold? What are we going for over here? What are we trying to achieve at the end of the day?
Juggernaut has one focus and one focus only, and that is to make a world-class, high-grade precious metals discovery in the geopolitically stable region. So
That's
our
so
three, yeah, so our three properties, one being Midas, which is a Kuruku style VMS, which is what Eskay Creek was.
okay.
We're finding, gold over a widespread area,
Yeah.
2.5 by 1.5 kilometers in the King Solomon zone, running as high as 7.7 ounces.
Okay.
We've
And
we've drilled there prior,
yeah.
and we've got 6.85 meters or 6.85 grams over 9 meters. So we've got gold in the third dimension, and
Okay.
we're going to drill a bunch of IP anomalies that haven't been tested.
Wow. All right. And this is actually in the golden, what they call the golden triangle of BC.
It's just south of the Golden Triangle. It's in the same rock package, um, and it's right off the highway. We have power, rail, roads. You can drive right onto the Midas property.
So when does this drilling start exactly? And when are we expecting the results? Like,
Well, I would say we're in on Midas in mid to late July, and drilling all the way into August. We'll do 3,000 meters of drilling there. We'll commence drilling on Bingo, I would imagine, within the next 15 to 20 days, which is right beside Goliath Sherbet discovery in northwestern BC, a world-class discovery from this group. And right after we drill Midas, we'll drill Empire. So that would be the beginning of August.
well, thank you, so much, Dan, for being here today on Betweenplays Stock Market. Is there anything that you would like to just end off with?
I try to keep things very simple, very simple. In 28 years in this business, I myself have never seen a company with a tight share structure of 62 million shares
Yeah. Yeah.
that has $5 million in the bank, that is backed by one of the most proven mine finders on the planet, Dr. Quentin Henney, and setting up on three properties that all have high grade mineralization at surface. This sample right here
Yes.
is from our Empire property.
Wow.
It's grading 1,180
Wow. Yeah.
ounces per ton silver, 26.7% copper, 16.5 grams gold, 3.27% zinc, and we're going to be setting a drill up right on that.
Oh, that's a great way to end off. That's for sure. You know what, Dan? Thank you so much. And those are all great points. So definitely, everybody out there, please do your due diligence. Research, prepare, plan, execute. This is what we say over here at Between Plays Stock Market Strategies. Dan, everybody, this is CEO President Dan Stuart, Juggernaut Exploration. Thank you so much for being here today, and we hope to be able to see you back in the future.
take a look at our website. Everything's on there. Thank you.
Yes, and the links will be in the description below.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Between Plays. It's the journey and what you do between where you are and where you want to be. Research, prepare.
Disclaimer: Betweenplays has a contract with said company in this video at the time of recording. Betweenplays only takes contracts with companies we believe have an opportunity to deliver a product or service based on our own research. That being said, always do your due diligence. Seek professional financial analyst when investing. This video is for entertainment, educational, and informative purposes. See description for more information.
Between Plays. Bridging the gap between companies and investors.